Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll also find a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials there, and you can access information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam, and it's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to best make use of the time when you're in the exam room on exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that'd be really fab, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And so now we're going to carry on looking at the Grade 3 2017 practice papers. And we're going to look at paper B. So if you turn with me to page 7. Just find that page. And then we'll make a start. So I always recommend that you have a go of this on your own, first of all. And re-access into the video once you've had a go, and then we can look through this paper together. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this, and now we're going to have a look at this together. So question 1 asks us to add the missing bar lines to each of these 3 melodies. They all begin on the first beat of the bar, so we've just got to count out. Notice there are 3 different melodies, so there'll be 3 different time signatures. And so we just need to keep our eyes open there and don't presume it continues on. So here we've got 2 quarter notes or 2 crotchet beats per bar. So we need to add up to whatever makes that equivalent. And so we've got a half a beat and a half a beat. There's 1 beat. There's a half a beat there. And then these 4 demi-semis or 32nd notes take the same time as 2 semis, 16th notes, which is the same as 1 quaver, 1/8 note. So that with the rest combined gives us a crotchet beat. So we've got 1 there, there's our bar line. We've got a half a beat and a half a beat again. There's another full beat. And then we've got a quarter there and 3 quarters there. So altogether, those quarters of a beat, those semi-quavers, gives another crotchet beat, so 1 beat, 1 beat. There's our bar line. And then here, we know that we beamed in crotchet beats anyway, that's the rule, so we know that that's 1 beat just at a glance. However, if you want to just check the timing out, we've got a half a beat there. We've got a dot, which is a half of a half, which gives us a quarter. And then those 2 notes together, 2/8 and an 1/8 of a beat, gives us another quarter, and so altogether that gives us 1 beat. There's another beat, and so that's our bar line there. If it is, like me, maths isn't your strong point, I always divide a beat visually like this, and so I can see, if I divide it into quarters first of all, so we've got a half a beat there, so I know that half a beat has gone, and then we've got a half of a half, there's our dot, and then there we can see that that's divided again, and both of those are used, and that gives us a full beat. So I just find that easier to do visually, whatever it takes just to help you get through the maths. So don't be put off in this next bar by the triplet sign. Remember, that just means 3 in the time of 2, and so we've got 2 semi-quavers or 2 16th notes. So we've got a half a beat there, 2 quarters of a beat there, that gives us a full beat. And remember as well, we also know that we beamed in crotchet beat groups. So there's 1 beat, there's another beat. So there's our bar line. And then we've got an incomplete bar, so we don't need to bother about that because we know that etc. means the bar's not complete. Let's now look at the next one. So we've got 9 quaver beats per bar, so of course we can just count it, 9 quavers or 9/8 notes, but it might also help you to know that we're looking for 3 groups of 3 quaver beats. So we're looking for that because it's simple sorry, it's compound triple time. This one's in simple time, this one's in compound time. This is in groups of 2, this is in groups of 3. So here, at a quick glance, we can just think 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, 3 groups of 3, bar line. So at a glance, you can just whiz through. However, by all means, if you want to check your maths, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quaver beats, 9/8 notes. So that just double checks it. So here's our 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, 3 groups of 3. There's our triple time. 1, 2 beats there. The dot gives us another quaver beat, another 8th note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Don't forget rests still count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's the bar line. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. However, it's an incomplete bar, so we don't need to worry about that. The etc. tells us that our job is done. Let's look at the next one. So here we're counting in crotchet beats again in groups of 2. We're in simple time. We're looking for 4 crotchet beats, 4 quarter notes per bar. And so we've got 1 beat here. The dot after it makes it half as long again, so that's 1 1/2, plus another half of a beat. So there's 2, there's 1 1/2 again. And then those 2 quarters give us another half. So 1 1/2, 2, 3 1/2, 4. So there's our bar line. Again, don't be confused by the triplet. Remember, that just means 3 in the time of 2. So we're just counting 2 beats there. So we've got 1, 2, and then we've got 1 1/2 there, and the remaining half is there. So 1, 2, 3 1/2, 4 beats. There we go. Let's carry on. So we've got half a beat here, a full beat here, half a beat here. So far that gives us 2 beats worth. We've got 1 beat there, and a half gives us another one. There's our next beat, so our bar line is going to go over the tie, and then that's complete, so that's our job done. So that's that question completed. Let's move on to question 2. So question 2 helpfully reminds us to answer both parts A and B. So let's just glance ahead. We're asked to rewrite the melody and correctly beam the notes. We've got to group them. However, we need to group them appropriate to the time signature. So actually, the second part will help us if we answer the second part first. We've got to describe the time signature as simple or compound, duple, triple or quadruple. We know that 9/8 is a compound time signature. So we're counting in groups of 3. That's what we need to know when we're grouping here. We need to reflect that compound nature in the way we beam those notes. And then there are 3 groups of 3 in 9/8, so we know that it's triple. So let's just look at that now. So we know that we're grouping this in compound time. So we want to have 1, 2, 3. There's one group we'll beam together. 1 1/2, 2, 3. There's the next group we'll beam together. 1, 2, 3. There's the next group we'll beam together. Let's carry on, and then we haven't got to worry about it. All the thinking's done in one go. 1, 2, 3. We'll beam those. 1, 2, 3. That's the rest. Stays as it is. 1, 2, 3. We need to beam those together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 1/2, 2, 3. So we need to beam those exactly as we've just circled them. So I'm just going to get the note heads in. You can do this in any order you like now. But I'm just going to, I'll perhaps go a bar at a time just to break the monotony. Yeah, that's right. So let's just beam those. So well, let's just think about the way the stems are going. That's above the middle line. This one's below, but it's kind of outvoted by the fact that there are two above the middle line, and also this one is much further away and requires it more so. So by all means use a ruler. I'm just going to do this quickly, but you by all means use a ruler. That'll be down because they're all down. So we just need the dot, the extra stem. So all of these are going to be together. They're all above the middle line. It begins and ends on the same note, so I'm going to keep this reasonably straight. It's not sort of angled. And then these will need a second beam to show that this semiquavers. There we go, that's that bar done. The rest is as it is. So we're just reflecting the compound nature of the time signature by grouping it in 3 quavers or 3 eighth note groups. So I'm just doing this quickly. By all means do use a ruler in your exam. There's plenty of time on the exam to keep it neat and tidy if you just plan your time wisely. So we're nearly there. That's 1, 2, 3. That sort of goes up a little bit. This is beginning and ending in the same place, so I'll just keep that level. Those two need an extra beam. Descending a little bit. And then finally, there we go. So that's that question complete. Let's turn the page over and see what we've got to deal with for question 3. So question 3 is asking us about some major and minor scales. So there's a number of things we need to watch out in this question. Have a look at it yourself first of all, or just get the gist of what to do and then press pause and have a go, and then pop back into the video once you've had a try. It doesn't matter if you haven't quite got it right. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. You can always just rub it out and have another go. So we need to add the correct clef, and we need to add any necessary accidentals. We don't need to use key signatures, but of course we will need to bear in mind what that key signature might be. So E major, of course, must begin and end on E, and for that to be the case, it must be bass clef. Now E major would have a key signature of F, C, G, D sharps. I would always write your key signatures out for all your major and minor before you even start an exam paper, and then you've done all of your thinking in one go, just one off once, and then you can just keep referring back to it instead of keep scratching your head and dragging your brain trying to remember them. So E, F sharps, C sharps, G sharps, D sharps, and that's the job done. There we go. Now G harmonic minor, so the first job is the clef. Of course it begins and ends on G, so for that to be the case it must be treble clef, and then all the other notes will be correct. So it needs to be treble clef. Now G harmonic minor is related to B flat major, so it would have a key signature of B flats and E flats, and then you're going to have to raise the 7th. So let's first of all address what the key signature would be. We're not required to use a key signature, so we'll add these as accidental. So we want B flats and E flats. And then the raised 7th is ascending and descending. So if we're thinking we're coming downwards, 8, 7, 6, 5. So 8, 7, here's your 7th, that's an F, and so we need to sharpen that, and that's our raised 7th. And that completes that question. We'll look at the next question in the next video. I do hope that this is of benefit to you. If you can give me a like and subscribe to my channel to keep updated, that'd be really great. That'd be fab. There's lots more to come. I hope that this is of help to you. I'm certainly enjoying doing this. I hope that you're enjoying working through it with me. Please do visit sharonbale.com and make use of all of the resources available to help you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.